What's up, everybody? All right, you guys. So there is a cold case out of California that took place in 1994, and this case has me completely baffled. Now, this is the story of 6-year-old Crystal Timmick. So in 1994, Crystal Timmick was a 6-year-old that lived in California. So her mother's name was Jane Newman, and her father's name was Mario Timmick. And Crystal had 3 brothers, Michael, Sean, and Jeffrey. So at some point in time, Crystal's parents, Jane and Mario, they split. Jane is in Santa Monica and Mario is in South Central LA. And since the two have 4 kids together, they end up splitting the time between the kids. So sometimes the kids are with Jane and sometimes the kids are with Mario. But in June of 1994, the kids will be with Mario. Now on June 30th, around 2 p.m., the kids were out in the neighborhood and they were picking peaches. At some point, they decided to have this little competitive peach throwing contest. But neighbors are saying that they had to repeatedly keep taking Crystal back to where her brothers were. They're saying that she was wandering around the neighborhoods, around other people's homes. But they knew the family well, so they would just take Crystal back to where she was supposed to be. Now, at some point in time, the grandmother ends up calling the kids back home. They had plans that night to watch The Lion King, so the boys, they start to run home. But one of the kids is saying that they turned around and they realized that their sister was not behind them. Now, I have to stop the story and say this. This is a very, very quick incident. They were just together. They were picking peaches. They were throwing peaches. And from the time of them throwing peaches and their grandmother calling them home, Crystal ends up disappearing. Now, they frantically start to search for her around the neighborhood. Let's remember, she was wandering all day long. But they find no signs of her anywhere. So about an hour had passed. They went ahead and called police. So you guys, police did a large-scale search. They searched everywhere for little Crystal, but they didn't find her anywhere. And that's when they say that they believe that she was abducted. So Mario lived in a duplex. And where he lived, it was very close to freeways. So let's say she was out there playing with her brothers and she ends up wandering off again, but they're not noticing because they're young. I think they were like 8, 10, and 12. They're playing, so they're not noticing that she actually wandered off. Somebody could have easily picked her up, hit that freeway, and just out of there. So for years, there's silence. Nobody knows where she is. There aren't any more searches going on. But in August of 2005, the police end up searching this home that is right across the street from where Mario lives. So somebody had reported that they saw this neighbor digging and burying something right around the time that Crystal went missing. Police went over to the home, they raided it, they checked a crawl space, they checked the burial spot where they saw things that were buried. But it turns out that it was just animal bones, it wasn't human bones. Now, something else that is very sketchy about this home. The woman who lived there was allegedly a reverend. And some of the kids are saying that she would frequently invite them in her home in order to have religious services, which I find is completely crazy. Why would you invite minors inside of your home? Now, from what I'm gathering, that lady ended up moving out that house, but Mario ends up staying in that house until he would pass away. So Michael, which is one of the brothers of Crystal, sadly, he ends up passing away in 2022. And not long after Michael's death, their father Mario also passes away as well. Now, y'all, I've been going down rabbit holes about this story. A lot of people felt like the mother may have been involved. So as I was digging through their social media profiles, I saw that the kids spent more time with Mario and his family. Now, I tried to find a social media for Jane. I tried to find any information on Jane, but I couldn't find anything. Now, the only thing that I found that was relatively close to Jane was her son, Dakota. So before Michael actually passed away, he posted a Facebook post about his brother Dakota having a baby and him finally becoming an uncle. So when somebody commented on that post and was like, who was Dakota? He said that Dakota was his brother in Texas and that his mother actually had Dakota, meaning that Jane might have started a new life, moved from California down to Texas, and had more kids. But from what Michael was saying, he had never actually met Dakota. Now, another thing that I found strange was whenever it was Mother's Day or a special holiday, they would post their auntie Maria. Now, Maria is Mario's sister. Y'all, it was very rarely that they would post a picture of the mother. And if they did post a picture of the mother, it was one when they were like a baby, leading me to believe that after everything happened, they must have stayed with their father, Mario. So I end up finding Jane's mother's Facebook. But this Facebook is very old. She hasn't posted anything since like 2015. But what I found strange was this grandmother, which is Jane's mother, she posted a comment under a missing person post about Crystal. And y'all, somebody commented and basically said, your daughter knows where she is. Now, the grandmother, she never responded to this. She never fed into it. But y'all, I strongly feel like this side of the family feels like Jane has something to do with Crystal's disappearance. Now, let me say this for legal reasons. That's alleged. Nothing has been proven. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But I haven't seen any TV interviews. I haven't seen any newspaper articles. I know this was over 30 years ago, but you would think this is a 6-year-old. I would never stop looking for my child. The only person that seemed to post about Crystal was her brother Michael. Now, Jane did do an interview with the LA Times. She did one interview. And in that article, she basically said, look, my daughter wanted to run away. She talked about running away a lot, which is odd because remember, this is a 6-year-old child. This is not like a teenager. Why would a 6-year-old even have it in her mind to run away? Now, you guys, she has never been found. The missing person page that was on Facebook was actually ran by Michael. So now that Michael has passed and the dad has passed as well, there has been nothing else said about this missing child. Now, I'm very curious as to your thoughts on this case. Do you believe the mom had something to do with the abduction? Or do you believe this was an abduction by chance? Somebody just saw her out there, picked her up, hit that freeway, and they were gone? Or y'all, do you believe the religious lady across the street had something to do with it? Comment below and let me know your thoughts on this case.